All right, so it's officially public, I believe. So let's see what happens.
You get a notification. Michael Builds is live.
Did you guys get notifications that Michael Builds is live? Jeffrey Henson. Jeffrey Henson is here. Bruno Santos is here. Guys, I want to apologize. There's about a 10-second delay. We've got 36 people now joining. Okay. So this is fun. Everybody's coming in now. Okay, Mark Crace, Jeffrey Henson, Daryl Parker, Mary, Michael Boyle. Mary, I didn't pronounce your last name because I'm going to F it up. I promise. But Mary, you're here. Angel G. Dan. Dr. 53 Love. Yeah, he's here. Or her, or she. Jacob. Chad, Anthony. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for... and Nancy, hi. So here's what happened. Here's the fun thing that happened. So I was going to have a live stream today that was just exclusive to Patreons. Or to my patrons today, but pretty much nobody showed up. But my mom showed up. No, I'm just... So Nick and Jordan showed up, so thank you guys for doing that, but it was pretty much nobody else, so I figured, hey, you know what, let's just go ahead and go public, and it'll be fun. It'll be a nice surprise, right? Again, if you're just joining in, there's about a 10-second delay, so I'm so sorry about that. Alan West is here. Jose, Jeff Oden, Chad Williamson. Let's see, who else? This is awesome. So, okay. So what the heck is Michael Builds going to do on a live stream, right? It'd be pretty boring to just sit here and answer questions, which I will do. So I've got my wife behind the camera over here. What she's going to do, I'm going to do stuff. I'm going to build stuff. Let's build something cool, right? So I'm going to make a concrete bench right in front of you. Since we're using Rapid Set, it will cure by the end of the live stream. I will flip it over, and I'm going to stand on it. It's going to be cool. We're also going to do a little design. But again, my wife is behind the camera right now, so while I'm working, she's going to read off any of your comments or like any questions that you have while I'm working, and that way I can still interact with you. So I thought it'd be fun. So let me get some coffee. My knees are killing me because I'm old. So anyway, how does it sound? How does it look? I hope I'm not doing a jittery kind of thing here with the screen. I hope the sound sounds okay.
Anthony says thanks for all you did for me concerning the Bella plans.
Conserving the what?
The Bella plans.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Yeah, no problem. Now I remember. Now I'm finally putting two and two together. So he was having trouble. He couldn't do. He was going to do a pet grave marker, which his pet just happened to be named Bella, just like the video that we did with the pet grave marker. And he was hoping that I could go ahead and just cut him out the craft foam, and I would send it out. So yeah, no problem. I did it. Craft foam. All I did was make him pay for the material. That's it. And I sent it out to him. That was fun.
Jacob wants to know what's the price per bag price of the Wonder Product Cement All.
That one right now I think is at about $25 a bag right now. Back when I first started working with Rapid Set, it was only like $19. The mortar mix that I use all the time was only about $15. Now everything's hiked up at least $5 or $6 since then. It's getting crazy. But the funny part about that is that that has nothing to do with Rapid Set. That's a Home Depot thing. They keep hiking the prices up, and so they have to kind of do whatever Home Depot tells them to do. So that's what kind of sucks, but I don't know. So, yeah, go ahead.
Beast Wolf says, you look good, bro. You've been working out?
That's right, Beast Wolf. We're working on the beast. I lost 40 pounds since the beginning of last year. So I started after New Year's. That was my New Year's resolution. I made good with it. For once in my life, I didn't want my New Year's resolution to go in the tank. So I did. I want to make a video about that too, but that's going to be on my Patreon because nobody else wants to see that. But hey, thanks. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. What we'll do is I'll at least get started, but you please feel free to interact with me. My wife is going to read off the comments and questions, and we'll go from there. So, just like you see me do all the time, and feel free to interrupt me whenever you want. Just yell at me.
There's a lot of just very supportive comments that you should read through later. There's so many of them. Alan wants to know, how long should we allow the rapid set to cure before we grind/polish it?
Well, with rapid set, what's really cool about that is you can do it right away. What I mean by right away is an hour later. After it's cured and you can take it out of the form, go right at it. In fact, the sooner you do it, the better, because the more and more time that goes by, the stronger and stronger the rapid set gets, and the harder it's going to be to actually grind and polish. I do like to wait 24 hours at least, just to make sure I don't run into any gumminess. But if you are in a time crunch, you can do it after an hour, which is really cool. And that's why I always, by the way, we're using mortar mix today. That's why
Daniel says to wear a mask.
I knew it! I knew that was gonna happen. I'm gonna get a mask, Daniel. Every time. You guys always get me on the mask wearing. It's gonna look ridiculous, but I'm gonna do it. Thanks for saving my life, okay? And anytime I call out those comments, my wife always says, they're just trying to protect you, okay? I appreciate it. What was I saying? What was I talking about?
You were answering the question about how long the rapid set needs to cure.
Okay. I think that was it. Hey, Jordan, do me a favor and send the link to Joe. This will be fun. You know what I did? I jumped the gun. We didn't do the design yet. So you guys are going to have to choose real. So we're going to do a design. We're going to do the Autobots symbol, which you probably can't see very well. A rose, or the compass. So go ahead and sound off, and my wife will see. You don't even have to take count. It should be pretty apparent about what everybody wants to do. I didn't even spray the mold down with WD-40. I'm nervous, guys. This is my first live stream. Change camera positions.
You have 3 votes for the compass, 1 for the rose, 1 for the Autobot.
You know what? It's that angle. Let's do over here. Okay. spray it down. Being fairly generous, but then I'm just kind of lightly wipe off the excess. Now this is, the reason why I'm doing this is because one of the comments that I seem to get all the time is, how do you make that powdered design, pour concrete on it, and then have it not move? It's kind of a lot of little things that go into this. So one, the first thing being the WD-40 I just sprayed. The WD-40 actually helps the dry powder stick to the mold. But if you put too much, that's not good. And if you put too little, well then there's nothing to stick to. Make sense? So what do you think, which design do you think they're going to go with?
It looks like the compass is winning. Shirley wants to know why you're not using a corded drill.
I never use a corded drill because with the kind of drill that I have, the 18-volt drill, it's just not necessary. Especially I have a Milwaukee, which is heavy duty. That way I don't have to mess with the cord. It's so cool. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with using a corded drill. Absolutely not. You know, you have much less of a chance of burning out your drill. But since I use, by the way, oh yeah, it's already setting up. I might have to give another buck.
Daryl wants to know about the sides.
The sides?
Yeah.
Specifically, what about the sides? They're 1.5 inches thick, or they're actually 1 3/4 inches, or a 2 1/4 to make it 1.5 inches thick. Oh, by the way, design. If you have a design like this, it doesn't matter if you're upside down or not. But if you have words or letters, you got to put them upside down. Otherwise, it's going to come up upside down when you take it out of the mold. I've learned that one the hard way too many times.
Thank you to Anthony for the super chat, I think it's called.
Oh, super chat?
Is that what it's called?
Anthony, thank you for a super chat. I never got a super chat before. Thank you, Anthony. Jordan, I'm losing it. It's already setting up. That's what I get for using hot water.
Kimberly wants to know if you can add flow control right now since it's setting up.
I absolutely can. I just want to make sure that before I do, because you're thinking what I'm thinking. I just don't want to do that just yet, because not until I get the powder on there. And what I'm doing right now is called retempering. Don't do that. It's very bad. If you guys are just joining right now, I'm right here. Just mixed up some concrete with some mud set up on me.
Daryl wanted to know about spraying the sides.
Oh, yes, I did actually spray the sides. So right now I'm going to do, usually I do this a lot more gingerly, but right now I'm fastly running out of time. So this is dry sanded grout. That's all it is, like when you do tiling. Does it have to be sanded? No. But I like the way it comes out better with the sanded versus non-sanded. But that's another question I get all the time is, what is that powder that you use?
Jacob says, please mention the flow product you add and why.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm about to add something called what's called in the industry called a plasticizer. What that is it's something that Rapid Set calls theirs flow control. So I'm going to very gingerly take this off of here. So what the plasticizer does is that it takes it from the peanut butter consistency to a pancake loose batter consistency, without losing any strength and without losing, well, basically without losing strength. Oh, and without losing set time either. So you can see right here, I've got peanut butter going on right here, right? This is the coolest part. So this is the plasticizer, flow control. We're gonna pour that in here. You can do up to 4 of these little baggies to 1 bag of product, but with flow control, I would not use more than 1 per bag. This is my favorite part. This is like magic. I hope you can see this okay. Isn't that cool? I've done this a million times and it's still just as cool as the first time. So now, if you know anything about concrete, more water that you add to concrete, the weaker the mix gets. Okay, so more water equals weaker mix. So if you want it to be pourable, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just add more water. But if you do that, you're just going to make it really weak. If you add this plasticizer to it, it won't do that. But then you'll get that flow that you need. So this is the other trick to not moving this design around, is it's nice and wet. If I get a consistency or a mix that's too thick, it's just going to push that design right out of the way. The other thing, let me move camera positions.
Jacob wants to know, would the product for slower setting work against you? He saw you use it in the Purge and Sculpt video. He's a carpenter but never went into concrete enough to know.
Okay, so yes, I would not use flow control on vertical applications, especially if you're sculpting. You would want to use set control instead to give you more time. So, the last trick is to not pour right on your design. Pour as far away from the design as you can. You see that okay? So right now, it is just creeping over the design.
Kimberly wants to know if you reuse your mounting wood.
I do. Especially if you can demold these without dismantling them, you can use them 100 times over. But what I've been noticing lately is that they are not making like the 1/4 inch the thin melamine that I've been using lately, the whiteboard stuff. It is so cheap. Even when, like I used for this board, when I take the names off the board, it's actually the melamine is like coming off. It's ridiculous.
Salvatore wants to know what the forms are made of, and can regular plywood be used?
So this is 3/4 inch melamine that I've used. You can use regular wood, but this concrete copies your form 100%. So if you have wood grain in your plywood, it's going to copy it, which might end up looking cool. I've seen it sometimes. Bucket scraper. Okay. So yes, you can, but you also have a better chance of the concrete sticking to the plywood. Will it stick to the plywood? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. But if you spray it down really good with WD-40, you really shouldn't. I use the melamine to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and I don't have to do any kind of troweling work when I flip this bad boy over.
Jacob says, being new to the bar top and concrete, can you use set control on this project? where my question was really going.
Absolutely. 100% you can use set control and a bar top. Absolutely. Especially if you got like a 4-bag, 6-bag mix, you're going to need it.
Kimberly says, if I used OSB and clear coated it, do you think it would release the same as it would in the melamine?
It would release the same, but you'd get a lot more texture. You'd get an OSB texture, which actually, again, might end up looking cool.
Anthony wants to know what inspired you to get into working with concrete.
Well, working with concrete was kind of my last job, and I'm gonna should I let him in on the secret? Yeah. So okay. So my last job was I was a Rapid Set rep. So I worked with Rapid Set. We gave these awesome demos all the time, just like this. And this was kind of like my signature demo. Right now I'm leveling it, by the way, because I always forget to level it before I pour. So I would go from Home Depot to Home Depot, making the bay look good and keeping it stocked, answering questions to customers of how to use the stuff and what to use it for. But again, in between all that, we would do live demonstrations in the store and just kind of knock people's socks off with how cool the product was. I thought you were trying to sing to me. Sorry.
Yeah, my questions are piling up.
Okay, so real quick to answer your question. Then all of a sudden, we realized that we don't have a whole lot of YouTube videos. I decided to make one to make our jobs easier, and everything just kind of blew up from there. So go ahead with the next question.
Reverse dead shot. What legs are you using for this bench?
Well, we're not going to do any leg save because we won't have time. But I could simply use like cinder block, like the solid blocks. Those make for very easy legs. But then you can, this is what's cool about a project like this, or like say a coffee table, is you can do anything you want and get real funky with it and get really cool with the design. I'm actually going to be partnering up with another YouTube channel soon, a guy, Greg from Busy Bee Living. Look him up. Subscribe to his channel, give him some likes. Oh, there we go. That's what happens when you don't watch what you're doing. And we're gonna make a really cool coffee table in conjunction with another product with another company, and it's gonna be so cool once we get that thing going.
Creator New York, I'm assuming.
Creator New York, okay.
Wants to know, is Mike actually on this chat? So you know.
Is who on the chat?
Mike.
Mike.
You? I'm assuming you.
Me? Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. There's about a 10-second delay, though. I apologize. So right now, I'm tapping out all the bubbles because you don't want any voids. And you don't have to do this long.
Primal Renovations wants to know if you can use these products in the UK. Or probably can you get these products?
You can get them in the UK. I couldn't tell you where. They're very specific places. You would have to Google and see where you can get them up closest to you. I do know there's a company there's a German company called, help me out, Jordan. Oh gosh. But they work very closely with Rapid Set. They're kind of Rapid Set's. Oh, did we get another super chat?
Yes. From Jason B.
Jason B. Jason B gave us a super chat. Thank you so much, Jason B. Thank you so much. $20 super chat. You guys are awesome. I did not expect any super chats. I'm going to be honest with you. Gosh, thank you so much, Jason B. Gosh, the name just, it escapes me, of the German company that kind of, they take care of supplying that section of the world. But I believe that it's not going to be available in like your local Home Depot or something like that. It's going to be more in concrete supply chains, if that makes sense. So try looking it up that way. I wish I could tell you a specific place, but you can get them somewhere there. Yeah, they're just harder to find.
Michael wanted to know if the tapping was to release the bubbles. I think you addressed that.
Yes, the tapping is to release the bubbles.
Shirley wants to know, how do you determine bag weights to square footage?
Okay, so it's not as hard as you might think. So with rapid set, you have about a half a square, I think it's called half a cubic foot in one bag of product. Okay, so 0.5. So trying to use simple math, we gotta work in square feet or cubic feet. So let's say 2 foot, so let's say right now we're using a 1 foot by 4 foot. So we would go 1 times 4 equals 4. But now we've got to factor in the volume, right? So that's 1.5 inches. But the thing is that I can't do times 1.5 because that's not feet, that's inches. So you've got to convert that to feet. Are you with me so far? So remember 4 square feet. So we got to take 1.5 divided by 12, and that gives us our what 1.5 inches looks like in feet, 0.125. All right. So we go 4 times 0.125. That gives us 0.5. That's exactly 1 bag of product, which is what you just saw me use. So let's say we did double that or triple that. And we got, say, a number of, like, say, 1.5, okay, cubic feet. Okay? So then we would divide that by 0.5, which is 0.5 is what is in a bag, equals 3 bags. So it's pretty simple. I need to put that more in my videos. But basically, a very quick way to figure it out is if you're doing concrete countertops, a 2 foot by 2 foot by 1.5 inches thick is 1 bag. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did not put any rebar or wire mesh in there. I did that on purpose. Not because I'm because I am absent-minded and I forget about stuff all the time. But I'm gonna do that just to show off a little bit, just to prove a point. Which is what I did in the first video. The very first video I made, I did that to show off and prove a point. And that ended up backfiring on me a little bit because I had a lot of people making very, very large tops without any wire mesh or any kind of metal reinforcement whatsoever. So we had a lot of tops cracking on us. So I had to start making videos to make sure that make sure that people understood that use wire mesh. So.
Creator New York wants to know if you are a fan of Jimmy DeResta.
Yeah. Oh heck yeah. Who isn't? I could watch that guy all day. All he does, he makes signs, right? How do you pronounce his last name? Jimmy DeResta. The guy makes signs out of all sorts of different materials, right? Great channel if you guys check him out. I love his stuff. He says he's not a word. You never see him say anything. He's a tough guy that makes signs out of metal, wood, plastic. It's ridiculous. So he's one of the channels I kind of study too. And I want to know what his secret is. And I do all this talking, making sure that I say the right thing. And it's just channels like that are just funny and entertaining. And I think we have another super chat. Let me check this out.
I think you got 2 more.
2 more. Chad Ray. Is that how you say it? Ray? Thank you, Sue. No, you're amazing, Chad. Thank you so much for your super chat. I thank you. My family thanks you for the support. Oh my gosh! And we got another one. Salvatore claps. I should have done that because everybody probably does that. Every time they tell people your last name, people probably clap for you, right? Salvador, thank you so much, and I'm so sorry for being unoriginal.
Kimberly wants to know, if you were going to add 4x4s as legs, would you put them in now and let them set up in the rapid set?
I would not. I see where you're going with that, but I feel like that would actually make weak points in the concrete. There could be a way to do something like that, and where you could make it strong and integrate it into the project. But just to simply put them in there and not make it a part of the design, I wouldn't bother. I would figure out a way. I would just simply make a 4x4 base, connect those 4x4 legs together somehow, and glue it on with the Rapid Set flexible construction adhesive or their anchoring adhesive. Not to put, because this is not sponsored. Understand that this is not sponsored by Rapid Set. I strongly believe in their product, and I love working with their stuff. So that's what I would do anyway.
Rick Carthaginian says, what was your favorite project besides the shed?
Oh, gosh, Rick. What is my favorite project besides the shed? That's hard to say. I definitely think that the Compass fire pit was one of my favorites of all time, simply because I've been meaning to do that for at least 2 years now, and it finally came to fruition. I love that project. I love that fire pit. It is so cool. Oh gosh, there's several, but that's definitely up there in my top 3, I would have to say. And we got some cool ones coming up too.
Jordan said component. I don't know if that's the name of the...
Oh, yes. What is it called again?
Component with a K.
Component with a K. That's our European connection, by the way. So check out Jordan's comments. Check out that company.
Kerrigan.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's on there as Kerrigan. Kerrigan 04 something or other. Component is our European connection. If you message them, check out their website. They will be able to direct you to your closest supply house to get Rapid Set.
Reverse Dead Chat says, have you considered using the side of a palm sander to release bubbles?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's another great way. Probably the best way to get rid of bubbles is by using a palm sander to release the bubbles. And I'm just too lazy to get my palm sander out. But absolutely, that's probably the best way to quickly get, especially the small air bubbles. That will really get rid of them. I just always grab my hammer because it's easiest. I'm lazy.
Beast Wolf wants to know what were the dimensions of the table.
The one that I'm working on right now is 1 foot by 4 foot, and it's 1.5 inches thick.
Digital 303 says, awesome dope squad, is that for Peter?
Ah! Yes! So, okay, so you see the dope squad behind. I'm ridiculous, I know. Everything I know about YouTube and making YouTube videos and filmography, making all my cool shots, it is all of it I've learned from Peter McKinnon. He's my favorite YouTuber, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is because when I realized that we've got to make some videos, the first thing I did was go on YouTube and say, how do I make a YouTube video? He was the first name that popped up. Been in love with this channel ever since. So that particular piece behind me was a part of one of Peter's challenge videos, where you had to make like I think it was like a 30-second video, and you had to relay to the audience what you're doing in a very short clip time frame. And I did not win, but it was fun, and it was really cool. So you might even be able to still look it up. I might even still have it. I think I still have it up on my Instagram too. Michael Builds 313 on Instagram. You can still check it out. But yeah, that's a period. But now I'm very good friends with oh, hey, speaking of which, Monty is here. So Peter McKinnon's dad, Monty McKinnon, is here on the chat with us. He says, oh, oh, you can ignore Peter. I told him everything he knows. So yeah, so I figured instead of going to Peter to learn things, I'm going to go to the source, his dad, Monty McKinnon. So I invited Monty. I was hoping he was going to show up. I didn't see him, but now here he is. What's up? Yeah, so I was just about to say how I became very good friends with Monty McKinnon. So Monty has an excellent channel, which I am completely in love with. So go see Monty McKinnon. He will show you how to make an acoustic guitar. So we still got some time here to. So hold on. So you've seen this guitar. I've been working on this guitar for about 2 or 3 years now. So Monty helped me out with a problem I had. I finally got around to gluing this back on, right? And I did it poorly. I did it to where the neck goes, it was like this. It was so awful. But it was my first one. I knew that was going to happen, right? So I called Monty for help. I'm like, please help me. I glued this thing on wrong with some incredibly strong glue, and I'm never going to get it off. So he says, no, go ahead and heat it up, get in there with a spatula, and I did. So here we go, Monty. I made it work. I got it detached. So I've got it all taped up, ready to re-glue. I just haven't gotten around to that because I've been so busy. But thank you so much for helping me out and saved my life. So now I'm going to be able to glue this headstock on nice and square. So I won't have a guitar that plays like this instead of like this, right? So, and again, so I owe everything I know to guitar making now to Monty McKinnon. So thank you. So this is a product of Monty right here. It really is. So, and again, while we're waiting for this to set up, I'm just going to show you another project we have in the works. Oh, I got more. Okay, I got more questions too. Lots of questions. So I'm making a Les Paul right now. Here it is. Let's get on with the other questions.
Willie says, if you have a failed project, can you do anything with the broken pieces?
Yes and no. You can get real artistic, and if you wanted to glue the pieces back together, sure. It's going to be very. What's the artistic word for things of that nature? There's a word. There's a certain kind of art that they call where you take broken pieces and mosaics and stuff like that. It's never going to look like a solid piece ever again. That's one thing I will tell you. Sometimes you can take projects like that, make it your own, make it look like you meant to do that. So with a project like that, I'd probably glue it together with an anchoring adhesive and tell people that you meant to do it.
You might have just answered this. Michael is going off of that question, saying also, what's the most efficient way to make the project small pieces to reuse again?
Yeah, that's pretty much about it, being able to glue them together. You could do something too where you put grout in between them, like make sure that the cracks are bigger, glue them together farther apart. You could put either a slurry coat in there or some grout to, again, give it the effect that you meant to do it.
Creator in New York, can you cut quickcrete with rapid sets?
Can you do what?
Can you cut quickcrete with rapid set?
Yes and no. You can do it. I've done it. I just don't know what happens to the strength there. I couldn't tell you if it weakens it by a whole lot. It will speed up quickcrete products. As far as finish is concerned, it's kind of up in the air what happens with it. But yeah, you can do that.
Kevin says, my first build from your page will be the compass fire pit. Any tips that didn't make the video?
No, I'd have to say I was pretty... yeah, no, there are some tips. Take care of your back. Make sure that you lift with your butt. Because I kept lifting with my back, and I hurt myself 2 or 3 times in that video because I was lifting the bags the wrong way and the pieces the wrong way. I think, that probably should have made the video, to be honest with you. I had to take a week off after that video, to be quite honest with you. Other than that, no, everything that was in the video it was pretty transparent, other than that.
Jacob says, who can we talk to and get them to sponsor you? You are definitely the reason I'm interested in Cemental.
Say that one more time.
Who can we talk to and get them to sponsor you? You are definitely the reason I'm interested in Cemental.
Oh, it's great because Rapid Set and I are in constant communication. So they really are already sponsoring me. They just don't sponsor every single video. A lot of the times when you see me working with Rapid Set, it's on my own accord, but there are certain videos, and sometimes you can kind of tell where they'll ask for a specific video, just like like I just did the concrete mix video. That was cool because I both needed a concrete slab, and they wanted a concrete mix video. So they did pay me for that video, but it was still something I was going to do anyway. So Cemental, we've actually done a video with Cemental already. I'm going to do another one probably in the summertime, but they will probably work with me on that video too.
There's a question that sort of gets into politics that I'm not going to touch. Reverse dead shot. What's the best thing you ever made on and off the camera?
Oh gosh. Well, so far the guitar is the best thing so far, even though it's not finished. Is the best thing I've made off camera. On camera, I think the concrete compass is like the best thing. I'm in love with that thing so much. Another thing that's going to be on camera pretty soon, I'm hoping this winter, like late winter, I'm going to make a tool cabinet, like an armoire cabinet that like stands like 6 feet tall, which is way taller than me. That's going to have a set of open doors that you can put stuff on, but then another set of open doors that opens up off the other open doors that will also store things. So I think that's going to be another one of my favorite things that's upcoming. I just have to design it.
Sebastian says, would you advise a 16-foot long countertop with L-shaped 4 feet at the bend using the rapid set concrete mix, and what would be the best way to hide the seam in the mold?
You can use concrete mix. I would just, when you use concrete mix and flow control together, you got to be careful, just because now you've got bigger rocks that once that gets fluid, the rocks will fall to the bottom, which will then become your top. You still won't see them when you flip the top over, but now all your heavy aggregate is going to be at the top, which kind of shifts the strength, if that makes sense. But you can do it. You do have to make it 2 inches thick as opposed to 1.5 inches thick, which is going to be a lot heavier. I would definitely section it off. 16 foot, that's way too big for one solid piece. Try to get your seams to be behind the sink if you can, or on the side of the sink. The seams are just, I don't care what you do, the seams, you're always going to see them. So don't try and hide them. The more you try to hide the seams, the worse it's going to look. Because it's going to look like you tried to hide seams and fail. So try to make them look like an expansion joint. Seams in concrete make sense. So don't hide them. So, and then, of course, seal them up with like a clear sealer. And that's pretty much about it.
I think I got everybody's questions.
Okay.
If I missed somebody,
the
you
knees.
can put it back in. There's a lot of just support for you and the channel. Everybody thinks you're awesome.
No, they don't. Do ya? Thanks. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to shift the camera so I don't have to kneel down so much anymore. But it's still just a little bit wet, but it's definitely setting up. We will definitely be able to demold this before the live stream is over. But this is stuff, like, again, another reason why, let me see if I can get a stool here. I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh, my wife made a good point. All the comments that are showing up right now, the computer's very far away from me, so it's hard to see them. But I am going to read through every single one of these comments after the live stream is over. So I will see every single one of these comments. So thank you so much for all the support that I'm getting right now. Again, if you don't know what's going on here today, this live stream was going to be exclusive to my patrons, but nobody showed up. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go live. Let's go live. So oh yeah, if any of you are thinking of the same GIF I am right now, yeah. So let's go live. So that we did that, and I'm so glad that we did it, because this is a lot of fun. We're going to do it again, for sure. And I got to think of other projects, too, because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me pour a silly bench every single time.
Monty would like to know, Michael, are you going to do another charitable event where you raise some funds and give away something that you've made?
Absolutely. We just got to get around, we got to think of a project that won't be too difficult logistics-wise as far as sending it is concerned. I absolutely want to do another one of those projects again because it was fun. It made me feel great. It just, when we got into the whole shipping area of the project, it turned into this kind of a circus, if you will. But if we can get around that a little easier, 100% absolutely I will do something like that because it's just too fun and great of an idea to not do it. So thanks for your question, Monty.
Rick Carpe Diem says, you used Simple Seal. Why did you choose that instead of another? And I just finished a project. How soon should I seal?
Which sealer again was he talking about?
It says Simple Seal?
Oh, the Simple Coat. The Simple Coat. So Simple Coat sent me that stuff to review and to test out. And with a product like that, you can't just simply put it on and then say, oh yeah, I think it's good. So that's why we did the whole thing where like, okay, let's do a 6-month review and then a 12-month review. So far, I like it a lot. One of my favorite things about that particular sealer is that it doesn't change the look of the concrete, which I love the look of concrete. When you put on like a shiny sealer, it changes the look completely, which is fine. If that's what you're going for, absolutely. I just like a sealer to where it keeps it looking like concrete. If I'm going for the concrete look, I want it to look like concrete. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with a shiny sealer. Or it's like Total Boat sealers are phenomenal. Go with that. Yes.
Monty has an excellent question. He says, so Michael, my question is, what are you going to do to spoil your wife rotten this Christmas?
Oh, that is a good question. Well, she said that she doesn't want anything for Christmas. So that means I don't get anything for Christmas, right? Or that means I don't get her anything for Christmas, right? Right? I'm going to spoil her rotten, don't worry. She loves... Well, yeah, that's private. So, but I will spoil her. I'm seeing another super chat by. So this is Dan Haystack. Let me see. Make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Haystack. So this gentleman. Let me tell you about Dan. We did a live event in Ann Arbor, Michigan last year, and this gentleman and his wife came all the way up to see me. All the way from Jackson, Michigan, which is about like 2 hours, hour or 2 hours away. I believe. No, am I getting Is it Jackson or is it Battle Creek?
I was going to say, I think it was further.
I feel like it was further than Jackson. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. We're gonna keep an eye on. Yeah, but anyway, so him and his wife came all the way out to see me from very, very far away. And it felt really good on my heart. And he gave me the best story that I could have ever heard. And I hope you don't mind if I tell your story, Dan. COVID hit him pretty hard. So much so to where he can't have the regular 9-to-5 job anymore. So he's kind of forced to stay at home and do his own thing, which would be great, but sometimes you don't always know what to do with all that time. If you can believe it or not. So he says that my videos inspire him to do stuff and to kind of give him a little bit of direction. And he looks forward to my videos. I still don't quite understand that, but thank you so much, Dan, and thanks for coming on the live video. Dan also plays guitar. He's very musically inclined. His wife and him and his wife have a whole recording studio, which is really cool. So thank you so much for showing up and giving us a super chat, Dan. Thanks for coming. I have not forgotten about you.
Patron Marie Lynn is here.
Marie, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. You were supposed to be here like an hour ago.
She
Marie.
says, is there anything wrong with not flipping concrete countertops?
With not flipping them? Oh no. Okay. So you're talking about like pour in place? No, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I could have, no problem. I could have finished this with a finish trowel and not dropped it. But I hate troweling. I really hate finish troweling. But absolutely, if you're really good with a trowel, you can finish this nice and smooth. It will never be as flat and as smooth as the melamine, but that's the kind of look that you're going to be going for when you choose to go pour in place. And you can do what's called a hard trowel, where it's kind of gone past the point of being able to trowel it still. You can get it even smoother. When you do that with rabbit set, you do end up with these kind of dark spots here and there, splotchiness, but again, it kind of adds to the effect. Speaking of effect, I don't know if you guys can see it, but now it's already, I can already touch this, and if you feel it, it's very hot right now. So hot. Can you see the steam coming off of the top right now? I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Oh, Marie, what took you so long? I've been waiting for you to come on. Can you guys see the steam? This is as far as it can go because I've got it attached to a cord to my computer. Let's see if we can get down low. Anyway, it's hard to see, but there's steam coming out that top because it's so hot to the touch. It's very warm. I wish I had one of those thermometers with the laser to where you could like actually point it out there and see how hot it is. But I mean, I can do this and see how it's getting light. So now we got light spots, okay? So this is where you want a water killer. We want to keep it hydrated for 1 hour or until the heat dies down.
While you're doing that, Greg wants to know, have you considered a rotocast project?
Rotocast. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you I have no idea what a rotocast project is.
R-O-T-O.
Is that a certain brand?
Creator New York wants to know if we're in the shed, how are we not freezing?
I am cold.
Yeah.
I am cold. I have a heater, but it's just so loud. And you guys probably wouldn't be able to hear me very well. It'd be very annoying. So I've heated the shed up enough to where we're not freezing completely.
Marie says she's sorry she's not home.
It's okay, Marie. Marie's one of my OGs. I can always count on her. Every time I release a video, I can always count on her to be like one of the first comments on the video, so look out for her. But she's also one of the patrons. You can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth on the list. But that doesn't make you number 4, Marie.
Rotocasting, Greg says, rotocasting is making a hollow piece by spinning a mold with slurry in it.
Oh, I've actually never heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to look that up and see if that's something. This definitely sounds cool, especially to have on the channel. Absolutely. That's not Greg from Busy Bee Living, though, is it?
Greg Finan? I'm not sure.
Huh. Okay.
Michael says, how thin can this thing be? I like the idea of making a bunch of these like bricks as a countertop, but would want them thinner.
I have been able to make, I think the thinnest I've been able to go is about like a 1/2 inch. You can make these pretty thin with rabbit set. I haven't tried doing it thin like that with Quikrete, but I don't think there's a way to do it thin with a Quikrete. I would like to try just to see, but there's no way. No way that it's going to be able to be anywhere near strong. I wish I have some thin pieces up on top here that I wish I could get at. Is that not working? I'll be right back.
Turning on and shutting off.
Oh, I can't get at my ladder. Okay, so this Decepticon symbol, yeah, half inch thick, and I've actually had one subscriber in particular. I did a YouTube short on these guys right here, but there's this one subscriber in particular. I can't remember his name offhand because it's a combination of letters and numbers, but he would really like to see a full video. So I'm going to do a full video on doing really cool projects like this with, I believe this was mortar mix. You can do this with Cementol. too, for sure. I would not attempt this with concrete mix, though. Heck no. Any other questions?
Yeah. Coming up on the hour mark. Well,
Okay.
we're over an hour.
We're over an hour. We gotta be able to. We should be able to demold this soon, though. I swear. Because this is so hot. Like, I can't believe you guys can't see the steam. Can you guys see the steam? Can you see the steam?
A little. Mary says, because of your instructions, we custom made a fireplace hearth using a live edge mold with the melamine, then stained it with RIT dyes to match a 100-year-old stone fireplace. What is the best sealer to keep it looking like a stone?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, that's awesome. You need to share that if you haven't already. Share that on my Instagram. Tag me in it. Also tag Michael Bill's community so everybody can see it. So with a sealer, so going back to the simple coat sealer question, if you do something like simple coat, it's not going to enrich it. It's not going to darken it. It's going to keep it looking the same. But if you go to something like a total boat, which is an epoxy type sealer, it will darken it and enrich it quite a bit. It will make it shiny too, but it's going to really enhance the color to where, like I've got, I don't know if you can see that Metallica thing that I did right here in the corner over here. That's actually dyed with charcoal colorants. So it really should look like charcoal, but it's not because I haven't sealed it. As soon as I seal that project right there with an epoxy-based sealer, it's going to turn black or close to charcoal, which is really cool. So keep those kind of things in mind. Any kind of colors that you have on there, definitely any sealer that you do end up going with, try to seal an inconspicuous area like the back or something like that to see what's going to happen before you seal the whole thing. But those are my suggestions. So I don't have one suggestion for you. It's kind of whatever you're really going for, whatever you think is going to work best for you. Water base is going to keep it looking the same. Epoxy bases or oil bases are going to darken.
Creator says, would you consider making a video on DIY low budget concrete mixer?
Yeah, just not with Rapid Set. Because that's another question I get a lot is, would you use a power mixer to mix Rapid Set concrete? No. If you had a crew and you knew that you could clean that sucker out in time before it's set up, absolutely. But I tell you what. I tell you one thing though. I am planning on using Rapid Set's Portland base concrete, which is much slower than the regular concretes. It's not a CSA base like their other ones, like this one, which, as you can see, is very fast. It's going to be like a 20-bag mix, which I think I would like to either rent or buy a concrete mixer, like a low-budget one. I know Home Depot has one that you can buy off the shelf that's fairly cheap, inexpensive, but still not very inexpensive, so I probably might rent it. I think renting is the best way to go because unless you're going to use this as a business, I don't see what else you're going to do with even a cheap concrete mixer. But absolutely, I'm going to add it to the list for sure. We're always looking for new ideas, for sure. Who's the one with all the flames?
We're getting rid of that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Don't look at that one. We're gonna get rid of that. I saw fire, so let's not look at that one. That's good. So you're the moderator. You can get rid of stuff like that.
I did, but I think Jordan did it.
Not unless you guys want to find love. Okay, I don't know. I think we might be able to go ahead and flip this over. What do you think? So how long is it?
Joe Loomis is here, by the way.
Joe Loomis is here. Loomis, what's up? Every time I see one of those bank trucks go by that say Loomis, I think of you, and I get this sick feeling in my stomach for some reason. I'm just kidding. I love you. All right. I think this is ready. Let's flip this over, see what happens. Oh, I can feel it coming out already. See, a lot of people think that I'm just messing around, like there's something going on. I turn the camera off and I do other things. There's like some sort of camera magic to me flipping these over right away. But there really isn't. I don't know. No, let's just cut it off right there. No more to see here. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. You can really see the steam now. Huh? Can you guys see it okay? Here, let me change the camera position. So there's that design we did. Now, I hope you can see the steam. The steam is crazy. I know, I need to shut up about the steam. Who cares about the steam, right? It's just so hot. So, this is kind of powdery. What I'll do is I'll kind of work it out just a little bit to give it a little bit more of a texture. And then that's it. And you see how it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to look perfect. It's not. I'm not perfect. You're not. It's not meant to be. It's meant to look cool. It's meant to look like it was put there millions of years ago, right? Where's the water? So a lot of people also ask too, well, it's dry and powdery and what do I do about that? Well, one, the sealer can solidify that. Also, what I did just now, I put water on it. If you let that cure, it'll solidify there too. But the sealer is really what makes the difference. Now, another question. See these dark spots on either end? How do you get rid of those? You can't. I have not figured out how to get those. Are pore marks, unfortunately. So that's why I try to do them in just one spot, maybe two spots. They will fade a little bit, but they'll always be there. It's just concrete's unpredictable too. Sometimes I get those, sometimes I don't. I notice that they will be a lot more subtle if I use a wax paste, but then you get kind of a different look when you use wax paste, more of a blotchier look, which is again fine. So you guys, you saw me pour this. You saw that I didn't put any metal reinforcement in it, right? It's been less than an hour. I know as far as the live stream is concerned, it's been more than an hour, but me pouring this has been a lot less. Should I do it? And I'm not hanging on to anything. Yeah, I'm not as heavy as I used to be, but again, I highly suggest using metal reinforcement in all your projects, okay? But this just proves how strong this stuff is all on its own. These buckets are pretty far apart. I can make them farther apart if you want. This is not sponsored by Rapid Set. They're not making me do this. I do this because I'm stupid. But this is why you guys see me use this stuff all the time. It is so effing cool. It does what the other stuff just can't. And the other stuff is fine. But how can I not work with this stuff? Especially, I'm on a time crunch all the time. This is what gets me through that time crunch, guys. You would see a lot less videos if I constantly use the regular concrete. So why do I use this Rabbit Set all the time in all my videos? Because it's cool, and I want this channel to be cool. So that's it. So that pretty much concludes our first live stream. What did you guys think? Put it in the comments. Was it cool? Was it boring? Was it was it missing something? I could wear a little less, I guess, but I don't know. A lot of you, no, I wouldn't do, no. But I'm always looking for ideas. Now, this stream was supposed to be exclusive to my patrons, and what I will be doing, exclusive live streams that are exclusive to patrons only, but we still will do this for everyone every once in a while where we do something cool, but I need your ideas, because this is the only idea I had to where we could have a cool, fun live stream. So, are there any questions that I can answer real quick? Go ahead.
Reverse Dead Chat says, so if there are pour marks, could you not pour it even slower and move it up and down to create a kind of concrete plane?
You can move around while you pour. You are going to get what I personally think is a funnier looking pattern, to be honest with you. I like the circles better than I like weird snake patterns. But that's up to you of what you're going for and what you're okay with. So yes, you could do that. That's just not for me. Go ahead.
Matt says, what if you poured into a plastic wedge or something and then took it out after? Would that get rid of the spots?
Ooh, that's interesting. A plastic wedge. I'm not sure. We would have to test that one out. If you test it out before me, send me pictures. Let me know how that works out. I don't see why not, but I think that's something that you'd have to test out first to make sure.
Mary wants to know if they can watch this again.
Oh. Since this is the first time that I've done this live stream, I don't know if it just kind of self-records. I did try to, I have a third-party streaming software that's allowing me to do this. I did try to record off of that and it wouldn't let me. There was some sort of stupid settings thing that I didn't have set up. So I'm hoping that YouTube is going to have this available to go ahead and watch. So I'm really hoping so, Mary, to answer your question. I'm hoping that you can. I really wish that I would have at least screen recorded this to see, just in case, but we'll see. I'm hoping so, Mary. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. What is today? Today's Saturday. What day is it today? I don't even know what today. It was Sunday. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with me.
Antisocial wants to know what your favorite beer is.
Antisocial, I don't talk to you don't like talking to people, so I'm not going to talk. My favorite beer is, because I'm not what you would call a beer drinker. Like I do love my beer, but I drink probably like a beer a month, or maybe not even two. Like I drink it because I enjoy it immensely, but I don't drink all the time. Not what you asked. That's not the question at all. So why am I talking? Anyway, so my favorite beer is Corona, Guinness, because I love those dark, frothy beers. My God. I had one for Thanksgiving. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. And I love my KBS, my Founders KBS. I love the Founders because it's also dark, and it has that great whiskey aftertaste behind it. I love it. And I don't care how, I don't care that, what's the word I'm looking? I'm struggling to find the word, but like, I know everybody likes Corona. I don't care. I love Corona too. It's fantastic. That's my favorite lager anyway. So, what's your favorite beer?
All right, last question I see is from Sebastian, who says, do the pour marks disappear when it's polished? Always thanks for the great content.
Sebastian, so yeah, yes, they do disappear, not 100%, but I would have to say that it disappears pretty much 95%, because there's still like a aggregate pattern that you will kind of see. But honestly, if you don't point it out, you'll never see it. If you don't point it out to anybody, they'll never see it. But yeah, if you polish it, it goes away pretty much. Yeah. Again, guys, thank you so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I appreciate your comments every day. You guys make me feel so good inside. You guys make me feel so good on my heart. I'm going to continue to create awesome content. We're having some really cool. We're switching gears to more interior projects. We're going to do a 3D printer. We're going to do another laser engraver, but it's a bigger one. So I'm really excited about that. I've got my buddy Greg that let me borrow his Shaper Origin. It's basically like if a CNC machine had a baby with a router, this is what would happen. I'm so excited to use that. So we're going to do that. We're still going to sprinkle in the concrete projects, but we're going to switch gears to interior projects though. So again, thank you. Talk to you guys later. Love you all. I would do this, but that doesn't shut the camera off now, does it? So, end stream!